Welcome to Melissa Honey Speaks. I'm your host, Melissa Honey. On today's episode, we'll be talking about the things that can block your divine feminine energy from manifesting or being cultivated. So on our last episode, we talked about the things that you want to do the top 4 things I would recommend that you do to cultivate your divine feminine energy. And on this episode, we're talking about kind of the opposite, the things that can block your divine femme from showing up or from cultivating in your life. So let's start. I have 4 things. I just want to begin again with the reminder that feminine energy is something that we all have. The yin and yang is male. The feminine energy, the masculine energy is not necessarily defined by man or woman. Everyone has this energy within them, and everyone is able to cultivate it and use these energies to manifest things in their life, or to use them in their life and mastering the journey of life, basically. So everyone has these energies, and we're just going to be talking about how to cultivate the divine femme within yourself and how to not block those things, what you can do to not block those things. Okay, so the first thing that you want to not do is neglect yourself. So if you're wanting to create the divine feminine in yourself, you don't want to be neglectful to yourself. So you want to be loving to yourself. Those things, neglecting yourself can be things like negative self-talk and not correcting the negative self-talk and not nurturing yourself, or being just forgetting about who you are as a person. You want to make sure that you are not doing that. So neglecting yourself can block the feminine energy from being cultivated within yourself. Okay. Number 2 is being overly selfless. So if you're always giving and not really taking any time for yourself, you're just giving to everyone, then you're back to neglecting yourself. So you're giving and giving, but you're not giving to yourself. So being overly selfless can be a detriment if you're wanting to create more feminine, more flow in your life. Okay. Number 3 is ignoring your creativity and ignoring your imagination. Okay, so if you're wanting to create feminine energy, you want to be more creative and use your imagination. If you're not using those, you will block that feminine energy from showing up. Because the femme is very creative, very imaginative. So you want to be using that energy. So if you're not, then you're going to block that. So let me give you an example of ignoring your imagination. So you're not playful. You're not using your creativity, your imagination. I mean, it can be kind of like daydreaming a little bit, but seeing your dreams manifesting, that's your imagination. So you want to be using your imagination. And if you're ignoring your imagination and you're not being playful, or you're not, imagining the next step in your life, imagining the next thing in your life, then you're kind of blocking yourself from that divine feminine from showing up for you. Let's see. Number 4 is thinking small, or being stingy, or greedy, or being in a lack mindset. So an example of that is if you're being greedy and you're wanting to take everything and not give, that's kind of being greedy. Or you're taking everything and being stingy with it and only giving to your even to yourself, giving to yourself more. And if you're doing the opposite, so you want to make sure that you're not stingy with yourself. You're giving yourself the luxury. You're giving yourself the spa days. You're giving yourself the things that you want, the things that you can have, and not saying, oh, well, maybe next time, or no, not today, or next year, or putting those things off. You want to make sure that you are giving to yourself all the time, and that helps to create that flow, helps to bring out your creativity, helps to bring out your imagination, helps you to think more expansively when you're not in a lack mindset. If you're in a lack mindset, the femme can't flow in that. The femme is expansive. She's fluttery. She's flowy. That energy is about all of those things. So she's not greedy. She's giving, but she's not She's giving to herself. She's always giving to herself, because if you give to yourself, of course you have more to give to others. So you won't be in that lack mindset, because you'll always feel like, oh, there's more to go around. There's not just this little bit. There is more. And that's where you want to be in cultivating your feminine energy. Is you want to be in a place of wealth, at a place of generosity, not just to others, but to yourself. Because that's where the feminine energy begins, is within yourself. And how you cultivate it within you almost has nothing to do with how you cultivate it with other people. It's really about within yourself and how you cultivate it in you. So those are the 4 things. So let's go ahead and do a little recap here. I'll talk a little more about these. So the first thing is neglecting yourself. If you're neglectful, you will block your feminine energy. If you are overly selfless, meaning that you're giving and giving and giving, and you're not giving to yourself, you're giving all your energy, all your power away, then that is going to be cause for you to block that divine feminine from showing up for you. If you are ignoring your creativity and your imagination, you're not using your creativity, you're not using your imagination, then that will also be a block for you. It'll keep that divine feminine from showing up for you each and every time. If you are just not using your imagination, if you're just not being creative, because as you saw in the last video, everyone has something about them that's creative. Whatever that is that brings you that joy, opens up your creative thought process, is what you want to be doing to attract it. So if you're not doing that, you're going to block that energy from showing up. Number 4 is thinking small. You want to make sure that you are thinking expansively. If you're thinking small, then you're going to be in a lack mindset. And the lack mindset is a block. It's a block to all the things that you want to manifest in your life. And you want to be thinking big all the time. Where can this take me? What's the bigger picture? You want to be optimistic all the time. You want to be looking up and not, looking down at, just looking at the smaller things, but you want to be looking up to look at the bigger things. And if you're in a lack mindset, then of course the femme cannot flow in lack. And that's it. So that's it for today. We did our recap. Thanks for stopping by today. And be sure to like, comment, and follow us. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.